I've been living on my own for like past 2.5 years, not with a female, on my own, holding it down on my own.
Before 30 Deep, Grimeyy would team up with Maxo Cream to drop a surprisingly emotional banger in Bando. Before 30 Deep, Grimeyy would blow up off the back of hit songs like No Cap and Dead Goofies. Before 30 Deep, Grimeyy would have over 2,000 followers on Twitter, 202,000 followers on Instagram, and 161,000 subscribers on YouTube at the time of this recording. Coming straight out of St. Louis, Missouri, 30 Deep Grimeyy is rap's newest problem child and troublemaker. Need some proof of that? Just check out some of the lyrics that appear on Dead Goofies.
You finna get shot, you finna get your beat, jump, you in jail, anything, you get boxed in to where you got a lot of weight on your shoulders and you can't handle it and hold that weight, that's a goofy ass nigga to me, because you supposed to stand for this.
Yep, 30 Deep Grimeyy is brave, bold, and absolutely boisterous on his rap tracks, which have helped reposition St. Louis as a hotbed for hip hop.
It's kind of like impossible to make it out of St. Louis. Would you say that?
Most definitely.
Why is that?
My city full of hate. Crabs in the barrel.
Combining a flow that's a mix of the old and the new, Grimeyy has been rapping with his cousin since he was 7 years old, and he picked up the talent from the people around him in his life. But despite his obvious talent and skill, Grimey's life hasn't been without its problems. He spent some time in jail after being charged with a UUW, which means he got caught firing a weapon out of a vehicle, and he's also lost a whole bunch of people along the way.
My first loss was in 2013. I lost Chauncey Brown to some gang violence. You know, it wasn't really nothing, you know, but it was something to us.
But his entire life has offered him the benefit of perspective, and after getting out of prison, he decided to commit to rap and stay off of the streets. What's going on, guys and girls? It's your girl Azalea Hart, back at it again with a brand new video. This one taking a look at the come up of 30 Deep Grimeyy, here for you on Before They Were Famous. We've been shining a spotlight on rappers of all sorts these past couple weeks, so if you enjoy this video, be sure to check out our other ones on acts like Jack Harlow, Cowboy, and Gunna. Don't forget to follow our Instagram at Before They Were Famous to get your chance to vote on what we do next. All right, let's get into this story.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
30 Deep Grimeyy was born in St. Louis, Missouri on August 21st, 1997. He keeps his full birth name under pretty tight wraps, but what I can tell you is that his first name is Arthur. There was even a short period of time when he went by the rap name Lil Arthur, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Grimeyy spent his entire childhood in St. Louis. In fact, he says he never even left the city limits until he was around 20 years old. They assume it's a pretty positive place with its well-known city landmarks. But to Grimeyy, St. Louis was a pretty nasty place, and he had to spend a lot of his time hustling on the streets to make a living.
We got a saying that go like, you can't hustle. You can't spell hustle STL, you know, like, like we just a hustling ass city, like, if you just go there and you ride around, you will see.
His parents were separated, so he grew up splitting time between the both of them. He had 3 half-sisters on his mom's side, but to Grimeyy, those sisters are his whole sisters as far as he's concerned. In fact, he cares so much about them that he got his little sister's name tattooed on his face to support her after he realized that she thought their mom was showing him favoritism. According to Grimeyy, when you grew up in St. Louis, you didn't choose the streets chose you. As much as Grimey's dad ended up working the streets to provide for his family when Grimeyy was still very young, his dad spent time in and out of prison but never spent too long locked up at one time. Eventually, he was able to get himself off the streets and into his own business, but for most of Grimey's childhood, he recalls his dad being a hustler. Because of that, his father always pressured Grimeyy to stay off the streets as much as possible, but the streets had different plans. Grimeyy doesn't remember the exact age he was when he finally found himself hustling, but he thinks it was when he was still super young, basically a kid. In fact, when he was around 8 or 9, he saw violence and murder for the first time up close.
It was a bad thing, like the baddest thing. like I witnessed a bad thing. I don't really want to say, but you know what I'm getting. Like
I know where you're going with
I witnessed
right.
that though, like at a young age, and then like it either turn you up or turn you down when you witness your first, you know?
Yeah.
It turned me up. I was sad about it because I seen it in movies a lot. You know, I'm like, damn, like, dude, that just, you know, like, and then the dude who did it, he became one of my mentors. Like, that's just how it go though, eat to get ate.
Grimeyy has been a member of the Six Deuce Crips for as long as he can remember. Normally associated with Los Angeles, this offshoot of the Crips found its way to St. Louis after Crip members got arrested in the city and decided to stick around once getting out. The gang goes way back in St. Louis culture. In fact, Grimeyy claims that most of his family has been a member at one point or another, including his father, mother, and yes, even his grandmother.
My mama a Deuce, my daddy a Deuce, originally.
Oh, so your mama bangs too?
I mean, not no more. She had kids and shit now, but like the shit don't come off you, you know? Like when she put the shirt on, it's there, but shit. I mean, she gave that lifestyle love for me. She said I saved her when she had me. She had me at 17, but my granny a Deuce.
Your grandmother.
My granddaddy,
is a Six Deuce.
They helped start the neighborhood shit.
Despite this affiliation, Grimeyy has never taken it too seriously. He talks fondly about listening to Lil Wayne's song Blood, which most Crips wouldn't be caught dead listening to. He also admits that one of his best friends is a Blood now. So he's not one to really take part in the animosity between the two rivals. When Grimeyy was 17, he got caught with a gun and was arrested by a particularly violent officer. Over the years, he's ended up with 2 felonies, that one and another one for firing a weapon out of a moving vehicle. Grimeyy pleaded guilty so that he could qualify for probation, but eventually he got caught breaking that and was locked up for around a year total. Unfortunately for him, while he was behind bars, he lost his brother to street violence and was unable to attend his funeral as a result of the county deeming him a flight risk. It was a particularly difficult time in Grimey's life. Not only was he locked up, but he couldn't even grieve properly because getting caught crying in prison or the streets can be a death sentence in its own right.
You don't really got no feelings for us after that. You know, like, normally we don't cry in the streets. See you cry, you let them see you weak and vulnerable, test that gangster, you know? Man, no, you don't never cry in jail.
Once he finally got out, Grimeyy decided he needed to turn his life around. He had first started dabbling with rapping when he was in middle school, where he would just play around and freestyle with his friends and cousins. One time, this kid came up to him out of the blue and just started rap battling him. Grimeyy admits that he lost that first battle because he wasn't expecting it, but from that point on, he would never get caught by surprise again. He started working on his bars and lyrics in secret, and once he was confident in his abilities, he started challenging people to give him random things to rap about. At first, he called himself Lil Arthur, then he switched over to his street nickname of Grimeyy, which he earned from doing, well, you guessed it, Grimeyy. He eventually added 30 Deep to his moniker because he and his crew were always rolling around 30 deep. When the record dropped, it spread like wildfire around St. Louis and left Grimeyy feeling mad vindicated. No Cap was a song that really blew up, and he followed that up with a hit music video. At the time, Grimeyy was juggling the streets, his 9-to-5, his music career, school, and probation, not to mention his family life and trying to keep those closest to him on the right path. But soon after finding success, Grimeyy decided to move away from St. Louis so that he could further concentrate on his music. He told XXL, "My standout moment was moving away from the city. That will draw you in. I wouldn't be able to focus on music. As focused as I am right now, if I was still where I was at, I would focus on 5 things at once instead of 2. Now that his life is more manageable, 30 Deep Grimeyy continues to work on perfecting his craft. He's taking all of his momentum and running with it, and there ain't no looking back now. As for the rest of his story, well, I think we're gonna end this one right here. After all, this is before they were famous. What do you think of Grimey's come-up story? Big shout out to Vlad TV for an extremely in-depth and revealing interview that he put out with Grimeyy, where I got a good amount of these details. So if you enjoy this video, be sure to head over to his YouTube channel and check out even more details. Seriously, they talk for over an hour altogether. It's great. Follow us on Instagram at Before They Were Famous to vote on what's next around here. All right, I'll see you guys next time.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now we drop a new video each and every day, so here's a recent drop that you might enjoy. We handpicked that one for you because if you like this video, you'll probably like that. We also got playlists like over here, so click on that if you want to see a whole list of a bunch of videos we've dropped in the past. And if you're new to the Fame Gang, be sure to subscribe and turn on them post notifications, and I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!